What's up, guys? Today we're discussing John Williams versus Hans Zimmer, and this is a bit of a juicy topic, I know. I don't intend today to tell you that one is better than the other, but I do want to help us all just analyze things in maybe a new light for anyone who doesn't take movies and analyze them, or music and break them down. This is just meant to help you get into that routine, so you're not just like consuming whatever you see, but you're actually thinking about it critically. So let's do it. Let's start by reading off a few of the big scores that both of these guys have had over the years, and then that way we get a list going, and if you have a favorite, maybe you can start voting for that guy or whatever. So let's break down some of these lists. Starting with John Williams. Again, I don't have this memorized. Starting with John Williams, he hits us with Jaws in 1975. One of his earliest things. Not his earliest, mind you, because this is his second Oscar and his 10th nomination for an Oscar already. So 1975, obviously John Williams has a little earlier start than Hans Zimmer. That is also his first Grammy, is the Jaws theme. Then you have Star Wars 4, coming out in 1977. This is his third Oscar win, and he gets 3 Grammys for Star Wars 4. He gets 4 nominations, but he wins 3 Grammys. Okay, so continuing on the John Williams list. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, of course, Home Alone, Jurassic Park. This is another one that he hits us with in 1993. This is his 34th Grammy nomination at this point. That's crazy. Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, Harry Potter. He hits us with Harry Potter in 2001, the first Harry Potter, of course. That's absolutely phenomenal. The Terminal, and then Lincoln, just to name a few others of his big, successful, well-known scores. That's not all of them, of course. Moving on to Hans Zimmer. Rain Man in 1988. People who are more into film will know that one. Cool Runnings. Hans Zimmer did. I thought that was a fun mention. A lot of us older folks, I'm a little older now, some of us older folks grew up watching Cool Runnings, so I thought that was fun. He hits us with The Lion King in 1994. Okay, that's a big one. I don't care who you are, Lion King is a big mention. Okay, it's got some weight behind it. Prince of Egypt, Road to El Dorado, The Ring, Madagascar, very much like that soundtrack. Batman Begins. This is where we get, for me, this is where we get into some of the hardest hitting Hans Zimmer, right? So we have Batman Begins, Pirates of the Caribbean 2. So he didn't actually do Pirates of the Caribbean 1, right? So we don't get he is a pirate from them. But in my humble opinion, I actually prefer Pirates of the Caribbean 2 soundtrack and 3, which are the ones he did, over 1. You can let me know if that's wrong. Okay, moving on. Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Kung Fu Panda, Dark Knight, Sherlock Holmes. Dude, anyone who knows soundtracks and music, okay, Sherlock Holmes is Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is a big mention, I feel like, because that is such a wild composition. Moving on. Inception, Megamind, Man of Steel, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Blade Runner, Dune, Top Gun Maverick, and Dune 2. Okay? Now, again, this is all just about getting everyone, talking about things they're passionate about. So I don't want anyone going in the comments and being like, you're totally wrong, this is my favorite. Like, the whole point is just to get people's opinions, right? I want to discuss this. So if I say anything terribly wrong, please just come at it with a open mind and a helpful tone. Disgustful tone. Anyway, Dune 2, to me, is absolutely top tier. Dune 2 soundtrack is firing on all cylinders. That is a 10 out of 10 soundtrack. It blew me away when I saw it in theaters. There are parts like, Southern Messiah, when he speaks to all of the Fremen and the Southern whatever, and if you know, you know, right? That part absolutely destroyed me in the theater. It was awesome. So, now, the main point of this video, I want to just bring up something to help us all think analytically about these two. They both have phenomenal records, okay? Both are just so hard-hitting, and the themes and the music from both of these composers makes up a huge portion of, I feel like, a lot of our childhoods, and some of the more known soundtracks across the world, right? You think of things like Star Wars music and Jurassic Park theme and Pirates of the Caribbean music. Like, everyone knows these. So I just want to break them down in this way. This is the only point I really wanted to make, and then we can discuss it from there. John Williams, when you take him and his skills and collection as a writer, he is a theme writer. Okay? He is the theme master. He composes things so well dialed in to a single person or a single place or time. That's what I would call him, the theme master. Okay? Reading off, again, some of his notable works. These are specific songs. These aren't movies anymore. These are specific songs, right? You have Marion's theme from Indiana Jones. Okay, that's the name of the song. These are the names of the song. Marion's theme, right? For those who know classical music, I don't remember the composer, but there was a guy who became a little bit obsessed with this one girl, and he wrote her into a lot of his pieces. And the idea of fixating on someone to the point of kind of theming them in. I'm butchering a lot of this. For actual classic music people, you're going to correct me, and that's totally fine. But we get this idea called an idée fixe. Okay? John Williams, to me, again, idée fixe is a little more extreme than John Williams is implementing here, but that's what he reminds me of. Okay? We have Marion's theme, right? An idée fixe light, if you will. So he sees this character and he embodies her into this theme, this music. Okay? Going on. The Mos Eisley Cantina. Oh, who doesn't love the Mos Eisley Cantina? So good. Princess Leia's theme. Again, a theme. Skywalker theme. Hedwig's theme. Hedwig's theme being one of the most reused pieces in probably all movies, right? Hedwig's theme appears in pretty much every other Harry Potter song throughout the whole 8 movies. So, Hedwig's theme. He has one called Entry into the Great Hall and the Banquet. Okay, so this is an exact time and place and scene in the movie, right? He wrote a theme because that is the feel for this part of the movie. Gilderoy Lockhart, okay, another Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter and the themes there. That's another theme that embodies him as a character, right? Then you have the Imperial March. I did want to mention the Imperial March. In my humble opinion, probably the single most recognizable and powerful piece of music in movie, I feel like, okay? There's a lot more going on there. We can break down those scenes that use it, you know? I think there's so much going on there. I won't get into it, though. We're sticking with music for now. And anyway, Imperial March is amazing, though. Amazing. Okay, Hans Zimmer. We gotta move on. Hans Zimmer, compared to this idea of the Idée fixe, right? The very thematic music. Hans Zimmer, to me, is the one who writes atmosphere. Okay? He is the one who, in every song, he embodies the universe as a whole. That universe, not our universe, right? He's not Bill and Ted. He embodies the universe that you are being transported into and transports you into it, right, simultaneously. A few of these pieces that I'm talking about, right? Wheel of Fortune from Dead Man's Chest. If you know, you know, again, right? That's where Captain Jack Sparrow and Will Turner, I'm pretty sure, and then someone else that joins them later. But they're fighting, there's a sword fight on that huge water wheel that breaks off of the building and the island with Davy Jones' heart and everything. Anyway, that song to me is so transportive, right? It just adds to the scene. That's all it does. You know what I mean? If you weren't paying attention, you probably wouldn't even hear music. You know what I mean? It doesn't take away at all. It's just, that's what you would probably be hearing if you were actually witnessing this in person, is what I'm trying to say, right? Discombobulate from Sherlock Holmes. Okay? Huge. That is such a cool theme, and it brings you into the world of Sherlock Holmes so well. A few others. Zooster's Breakout. I wanted to bring this one up too. This is another one that's just, it's an absolute vibe. You know what I mean? Like, there's no explaining why this works so well. Zooster's Breakout, the scene where they're breaking out of the zoo and, you know, from Madagascar. I already said it earlier in the film. Anyway. From Madagascar, when they're breaking out. Zooster's Breakout is awesome. Beginnings Are Such Delicate Times and Southern Messiah, like I mentioned earlier, from Dune 2. Amazing pieces of work. Okay, they are so... And with these ones, I just wanted to bring up the fact that, you know, Hans Zimmer uses a lot of these weird instruments and sounds that basically come from the universe itself. The universe you're watching, right, itself. In Dune 2, like, did anyone else notice that a lot of the pieces had the, like, sounds from the little clickers that they used to summon the sandworms? Did anyone else notice this? This is the kind of analytical thinking I'm trying to turn on in everyone's brain. It's just amazing, like, who comes up with that, you know what I mean? So, love Hans Zimmer, love John Williams. In the end, okay, my battery's going low. My camera might die. In the end, I just want us getting analytical thinking. I love both of these guys. Again, their music is so impactful, has changed the industry, right? So let me know if you have a favorite in the comments and if we should break down any other pieces they do. That's what we're here for, okay? All right, I will see you next time.